and Erika and Dorit get into it. And Dorit has prepared water, and Erika says this is not the way to go. You do not prepare just water. Anyway, they're sitting, they're talking, and it goes back to Dorit and Sutton are now not in a good place. Dorit reveals she is in a better place with Kyle Richards and she's not with Sutton. Let's just face it, because this is where my mind goes. And by the way, we're going to do some real world gossip at the end of this. This is where my mind goes that Dory doesn't care about Sutton, does she? She's just like, thank God Kyle and I are in a good place. I don't know if she really cares about Kyle, but she's like, Kyle's position on the show is not going anywhere. Neither is Sutton's, but she's just like, thank God I'm in a good place with Sutton, with Kyle, and who really cares about Sutton. But the conversation turns to that and where they are. And Dorita's not backing down this season. She is not backing down. She's like, look, I feel that we really need Dorit this season. Does anyone else really feel that? I know your comments. I see the comments. I think you guys are mixed. I think a lot of people feel Dorit's doing a great job, and a lot of people feel I can't stand Dorit, and she does talk all the time, and she's really annoying. So it's kind of like a mixed bag that we're getting here. I gotta say that I feel, and this moves ahead to the scene with Camille that we're about to get into. But I feel Dorit is, I don't feel that it is, look, again, I go back to the same thing. I feel she was tap, tap, tap by Alex Baskin. She was told by Evolution, like, just go for it, girl. Like, we got your back. Let's make a show. Like, just be yourself. And I really do feel Dorit is in this season really just being herself. I don't think she is, I mean, her marriage has fallen apart. I don't know how much more real you get besides that. So she is showing it. I don't think she could have come back if she didn't show this. Like, I think that, look, this is what I think. I think that a lot of people are criticizing Dorit and saying, you needed this for a storyline. It's fake. You're faking it, you and PK. I don't believe that. I believe that it's real. And I believe that producer said to her, this is real. It's going on. It's happening. We all know it's happening in Beverly Hills. Your castmates know it's happening. We know it's happening. Bravo knows it's happening. Andy knows it's happening. This is happening. So if you're going to come back and your season is going to be about Louis Vuitton and Dior and Fendi and getting the kids ready for school, and your season is going to be, learning a new instrument and reviving Beverly Beach, you can't come back because that's not really your life. If you want to come back to this show because you're not Kyle Richards, you're not, Kyle could say, I'm not going to show Morgan. Yeah, screw you. And they could say, fuck, we want Kyle to show Morgan, but what are we going to do? I mean, you can push someone against the wall and they can call your bluff. Like, we can say to Kyle, you need to show Morgan, you need to show Morgan. Remember that narrative was out there that Kyle needs to show Morgan, blah, 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 blah. We're not firing Kyle Richards. I used to say that about Teresa Giudice. She's in trouble, or Teresa. I don't know. She might be back. She might not be back. We're not talking about that right now at this moment. But if you say to Kyle, you must show Morgan, which rumor is that's what they said to her, and she's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Morgan doesn't want to be part of the show. We're not showing her. I mean, what are producers going to do? Is Alex Baskin, are we going to fire Kyle? Because we're not. We're not. So that's the great thing about, mind you, word of caution in corporate America, when you hold all the cards for 1 minute, you don't for very long. So, but look, so you say to Kyle, you have to show Morgan, and she says, screw you. We're not showing Morgan. She gets her way. We say to Dorit, so I believe this is real. And they say to Dorit, girl, you ain't coming back if we're going to be talking about Louis Vuitton and trying to get Jagger into a Jagger and Phoenix into a private school. You got to show PK. And if Dorit says, I'm not doing that, they say, bye bye, Dorit. We really don't give a shit about you. We'll just replace you with Boz's best friend. So I think they did say to Dorit, you're going to come back, but you better show this. And she's like, I got it. I got the memo. I got it. They're like, no, really, girl, you're fired if you don't just expose your real life. And I think Dorit realizes, and I mean, I guess I can say this from my night out with PK back in September. I mean, he told me that he said to Dorit, like, go for it. Like, yeah, we're split. We're splitting up, whatever, just you need to earn a living. And so go for it. I mean, I don't think he said go and say I'm an alcoholic in every scene. I mean, I think Dorit then took it and run. But, I think, PK told me in September. I think I can say this, like, just, go for it. Go ahead. I understand that's your job and it's really what's happening, not like we're putting it on. And yeah, I mean, go and be like the real person and do the real thing when you go on the show. So I do think they said to Dorit, girl, you either show this or you ain't coming back. So she's showing it. I believe it. Anyway, I just got completely sidetracked. So there they are, and they're going back, and Sutton is trying to explain to Tilly and Kyle while she was upset. Dorit is trying to explain why she was upset, and Sutton's like, it's not about Teddi, and it really never is about Teddi. Um, could it be about Teddi for a minute? Do you guys? We'll get back to the recap. Did you guys see this thing that Teddi was just hanging out with Simon Schroeder, the horse trainer, her horse trainer, and she was at look at. I have to say, and again, this article says that Teddi is 43. It is not age shaming. I am an old fuck. It's not age shaming. I just every time I see an article on Teddi and it says she's 43, I'm like, man, that's just so young. It's young. It's younger than Sutton. It's younger than Kyle. It's younger than Garcelle. I don't know. It's younger than Dorit. I just feel it's not age shaming or look shaming. I just really, truly think of Teddi as like 50 something every time we see her and hear of her. 43 to me is just so, I'm like, wow, wow. Okay, well, girl, I mean, yeah, start over if you're not happy. Come on, it's never too late. The guy that developed KFC. I feel like I just said this with Sarah. I don't know if this episode there. The guy that started KFC, Colonel Sanders, was 55, I think, when he started that. Man, so there you go. Anyway, so Teddi was just with the horse trainer, Simon Schroeder. She was at her daughter's equestrian event. I gotta give it to Teddi. Now, I don't know, I mean, there's pictures of them standing together and for whatever that's worth. But I gotta give it to Teddi. I mean, you're not gonna go to your child's horse event. So I mean, granted, you're standing next to this guy. I really have to give it to Teddi that she really just is like, this is my real life, and she doesn't seem to really care. So there you go. We're giving Teddi a small fucking crumb in the corner. If we have time, I want to talk more about Teddi and the